Yeah, let's just get into it, guys. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers of Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you my review for Halloween Ends. Now, I already recorded a review for this, but it was entirely too fucking long, and it was just me, as usual, going over the plot of the movie. So I decided to re-record it, kind of streamline my thoughts a little bit better. So yeah, let's get into Halloween Ends. I did not like this movie. I didn't think it was a necessary movie at all. I don't think it was needed to complete this new Bloomhouse trilogy. I legitimately think so. I would say, in like minute terms and time terms, the last 10 minutes of the movie they could have added on to the end of Halloween Kills. For Halloween Kills, you cut out Karen getting killed and you attach the ending of Halloween Ends to Halloween Kills, and then you have a pretty solid trilogy, even though I think Halloween Kills has its entirely own set of issues. But the ending was one of my problems with it. This has a pretty solid last 10 minutes of the movie and ending, so I think you could attach that to that movie. So let's really get into what I didn't like about the movie really, really quickly. So, very, very quick rundown. There's a character, Corey, that this movie is about. So the trailer has nothing to do with the fucking film. So the fight that we see in the trailer is actually like the last 10 minutes of the movie that I was talking about between Laurie and Michael. So we get a look at this man, because he's an adult. This man named Corey, who has an accident the Halloween following H40, which is 2018 Halloween. That's what I'm going to refer to it as. He has an accident where he's babysitting. It takes place in 2019, and the kid dies. So he's kind of ostracized in Haddonfield and kind of looked at as the new psycho or new monster, things like that. So legitimately, this movie is an hour and 51 minutes. A good hour of the movie is just getting to know Corey, and he's a grown ass man that's being picked on by fucking nerds. And I'm not joking. That's not a joke. He's being like accosted by band members because they ask him to, because he's of age, they ask him to go buy beer for them, and he says no because he doesn't drink beer, or he doesn't drink alcohol. And they start fucking with him. So they push him around. He cuts his hand on this glass bottle of chocolate milk that he bought from this gas station. And, they come back later. They're basically antagonists in the movie. You a grown ass man getting picked on by nerds, band members. I'm lost for words, right? So Corey basically, we spend like an hour. After that happens, Lori kind of helps him stand up for himself, kind of shoos the kids away, takes him to the hospital that Allison is working at because she's a nurse. She instantly starts like flirting with him, like shooting her shot hard, and she actually comes off a little too strong, in my opinion. It's basically them falling head over heels for each other in like 3 days. And then the nerds attack him at some point in the movie, almost kill him. Michael, like, doesn't nurse him back to health, but Michael drags him away into this, like, drainage sewer area. And from there, like, Michael attacks him, but I guess like sees in his eyes the trauma that he's gone through, which doesn't make any fucking sense. And they kind of his character changes. from that point forward, and that's one of my issues with the movie. So from there, his character changes. He kind of turns into this bad boy, and Allison, he kind of talks Allison into, hey, look, fuck Haddonfield, we're gonna die here. There's nothing here for us. She agrees with that, and then he goes on a killing spree because he wants to be like Mike. And then I guess from there he gets like a taste for blood and starts like killing people with Michael. And then toward the end of the movie, we get like a showdown between Laurie and Michael after Laurie confronts Corey about his behavior and he tries to kill himself, but he ends up like not succeeding all the way and Michael ends up finishing the job. That's what this movie is about. This movie is basically whatever Friday the 13th movie didn't have Jason in it because he was a slug that was possessing people. Halloween Ends is that Friday the 13th movie. Corey's character shift is just weird as hell because again, I don't know what they were trying to do when Michael stared into his eyes, because we saw a flash of everything that Corey had been through with the accident where the kid died, being arrested, his relationship with his mom, because his mom is very, very protective and kind of trying to shelter him. And Corey is very clearly a little off. There's something weird about him, but we don't really get to see that until after it jumps back to present day, because the movie opens up with the accident that happened. And once it jumps to present day, you can tell that he's affected by the way that people have been looking at him and everything like that. How the townspeople have been looking at him and treating him and everything like that. But even then, his character shift is just way too abrupt. And even going based on that, Allison falling for Corey was weird as hell. And writing her as taking a liking to Corey due to their similar like public opinion, like similar public opinion of being looked at for a particular thing for what they've gone through in this town, was an odd choice. But even then, he calls it out at one point in the movie because he says, I'm not your little project, don't try to fix me. And she was like, look, I just took a liking to you because I saw a person. I didn't see what everybody else saw. And I know what it's like to go through that. I know what it's like to have the people in this city look at you weird because of what happened to you, but that's not your fault. And he says, they look at you like that's the difference between how they look at us. They look at me as a monster because of what happened. They look at you as a survivor. Just having her so quickly fall for him. Again, this movie probably took place over the course of like 3, maybe 4 days, if I'm being generous. But in that span, Allison and Corey like fall madly in love with each other, and Corey even talks about moving out of Haddonfield, and Allison agrees. She's fed up at different points in the movie as well. She's supposed to get a promotion at work, but a different nurse did, but that nurse is also fucking the doctor that gave her the promotion. So she's just really annoyed by that, and the doctor kind of treats her like shit. It didn't make sense because I think for her character, with what she's been through and knowing who he is, knowing that there was this incident where a kid died, I don't think that she would have been, even though this takes place 4 years after, Halloween and Halloween Kills, I don't think she would have been so trusting knowing his history. I don't think it would have been, yeah, I know what you're going through, but it very much seemed like, she's just desperate for that attention, especially with the way that she shot her shot. Yeah, like I've been saying, my main thing is that this movie didn't need to exist, and Michael dies at the end of this movie. Laurie kills him. Allison kind of helps as well at the end, and they legitimately like pulverize his body in like a grinder at the like body shop yard. That could have happened in Halloween Kills. I don't understand why it didn't. It would have been a much better ending. You have the entire townspeople kind of fight back against this looming shadow that's been kind of haunting their town for 40 years. Everybody fights back, takes them out, and then they literally destroy evil. That would have been way better in Halloween Kills, but they chose to do it in this movie. There are some other issues as well. There were some untouched subplots. At one point after Corey's character shift, he was talking about, how about we just, let's leave. How about we just burn it all? So what was the point of bringing up burning Haddonfield? Because legitimately he set like one thing on fire, but that was the radio station and subsequently the radio tower that's seen in the movie. So what was the point of kind of mentioning that? I thought that was going to go somewhere. Another thing, the chocolate milk. When we opened up in 2019 on Halloween, it shows him purposefully picking up a bottle of a Heineken, I believe, setting it back, and then grabbing the carton of chocolate milk and drinking that. And then later on, when he's accosted by the nerds, by the band members at the gas station, he goes in and he buys a glass bottle of chocolate milk. The way that they were focusing on it, I thought that it was going somewhere with why he chose that. And then the other thing, at the Halloween party that he went to with Allison gave him a cocktail, which I kind of thought was a dick move, because we, the audience, know that he doesn't drink alcohol, or at least me, I presumed that he didn't drink alcohol because it showed him purposely choosing a different beverage than the alcoholic beverage. So I think it was kind of a dick move to give him a cocktail without asking him if he drank. I've been to parties where people have offered me drinks, but I've also been to parties where people have offered to get me drinks and ask me if I was drinking before they did so. So I mean, that could be looked at as a little nitpicky thing, but that's just one thing that I noticed. Another thing that I thought was weird was Michael himself. So when he kind of recovers Corey after the band members kind of knock him over a bridge and they think that they kill him, Michael kind of drags him into this drainage sewer pipe, and that's when we get the whole mind connection that they make. And later on in the film, Allison's ex, who's a cop, gives her kind of harasses her at a diner that they're eating at, and this is after Corey has already changed his character, and so he stands up to the cop, and then the cop ends up following him on his motorcycle, and obviously Corey goes to the drainage pipe, lures him in, and Michael kills the cop because Corey asks him, hey, show me how to do it. Because at this point, I guess Michael kind of transferred evil energies to him. I don't know what the fuck happened. I legitimately don't understand what happened in that scene, because all of the flashes that we got, I didn't know what they were trying to do. Corey's holding him. Michael stabs him, and then stabs him again, and he's kind of invigorated because he's very, very weak. He actually even looks timid almost. He's weak, limping around. He stabs the guy twice and legitimately starts having spastic movements, like he's invigorated about getting the kill. This is his first kill or something like that, which I don't think it is, because the homeless guy that Corey killed earlier when he was harassing him, he mentioned he's taking other people in there and they haven't come out, so why did he let you live? So clearly Michael has still been killing. That's what I thought. So it was weird to see him kind of be reinvigorated with this one particular kill. I didn't like it. It only got entertaining in the last 10 minutes of the movie. I think Jamie Lee Curtis did a fine job in her role. especially with how they portrayed Lori. She's writing a book, so we get voiceover of her typing up passages of particular paragraphs and segments of the book. Um, I think Rohan Campbell, I think that's his name, who played Corey. I think he did a fine job, but the switch was just too abrupt. I forget her first name, but the actress who played Allison, I know her last name was like Matichak. Um, I think she did fine as well. Overall, the acting wasn't bad, but I just didn't like the story of the movie. And I was really, really annoyed that I saw this in theaters. Like, I legitimately could have seen Amsterdam over this, and I really wish that I had. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Halloween Ends, everybody, and it's on Peacock. I kind of feel like I should have watched it on Peacock, but even then, like, I just didn't enjoy the movie to the point where I can't even suggest you watch it on Peacock, to be honest, to be completely honest. So, yeah. Again, I really wish I would have seen Amsterdam instead.